Yo, 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 yo. What up, what up, what
What's
up?
up?
What's
What's up?
goody,
What's
people?
up?
What's up, what's up, what's up? Ladies, what's up, what's up? What's up, what's up, what's up? Oh, do the bank head bounce. Oh, do the bank head bounce.
Take it back to the 90s
Take it
real
back to the
quick.
90s for the
Miami
99
Bass
and
90s at
2000.
that.
Okay. Man, those days, very nostalgic days. Very, very nostalgic
Okay.
days. Girl, what's been going on with the going on this week?
Girl. At Black History, that's it.
Period. Shortest
Black
month of the
History
year.
Month.
We have to make
Okay.
it very important and vital, you
Right.
know, teaching the real Black history of how we've
Exactly.
been oppressed for 400 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
Both
That.
of us have freaking ties to chattel slavery. So run
Mm-hmm.
me my money. Reparations is
Exactly.
owed and due to us.
Thank you. Please
But
and thanks.
please and thank you. I'm going to continue to say it every single
As a
time.
matter
I'm
of
going to
fact,
continue to say
I'm
it.
getting to the point where we don't even have to say thank you because that's our money.
Yeah, like we shouldn't say thank you
It's
at
already
all.
ours. We shouldn't even have to be thanking nobody. But
No,
go
being there
ahead.
like the Gross sisters.
Okay.
Gimme. Give me my money. Give me my money. Girl, this week
Oh,
has been like really strange, really weird. Um, of things that's happening
mm,
has not made national news.
right.
And I don't know, we just have to talk about it, especially the attacks on black women.
Mm,
As I said previously before, Breonna Taylor is our Trayvon Martin to black men. Black
right.
men have been experiencing, death after death after death, and it affects black women as well. But I
Mm,
don't think it really hit us hard until Breonna Taylor.
right.
And it should
Right.
have been hitting us hard when Sandra Bland was killed because she was
Right.
out here in these streets and she was fighting and she would get lit for her people, for her black people. So, and I'm going to get lit for my black people, period. Point blank, period. It's going to happen. I'm
She
not
was
one of
doing
those
the work.
ones that, no, I don't talk bad about my people whatsoever.
She was
So,
doing the work and she was making sure that we stayed affirmed, that we stayed
mm-hmm,
secure. Like she was doing the work.
she
She was
was.
doing the work. She had a little show on her Facebook that she was
Yes.
doing, like, and that just goes to show you that you never know, like, how your work may affect other people. Because not
Mm-hmm.
only was she celebrated in doing the work while she was still alive, but of course, when she passed away, that is still a mystery. We still don't know
No, we don't.
what happened there. But you know what I'm saying?
It's a tough, tough, tough situation. Before we get into our little topic of, black women, black girls being attacked, because I got some stories for y'all. This week in Florida, in Miami, a white man, of course, at first they didn't want to identify him, but he shoots two FBI agents, he kills them, and then he injures four more FBI agents. They were coming to his house on a warrant of him with child pornography, child pictures, all of that stuff. He was a creep, so he should die. But he ends up he looks at him on his video camera, of course, probably a ring, and he has an assault rifle. Starts busting at him, shoots two, kills two, injures the rest. Then he takes the gun and kills himself. Rightfully so, as he should anyway. But it's like that news is not made national news. Why not?
Because he a white officer, for
Mm,
one,
yeah.
and for two, because of course you don't want to hear about police killing other police.
Mm-hmm.
They don't feel like that's newsworthy because he was participating in child pornography.
Yep.
Like police can be crooked. That's
Yeah,
been
they
a thing.
can. I don't know if he was necessarily a police, but he might have been a police. That's a good point. I didn't even realize that
That's what
might
it
be the
seemed like
reason.
from you reading the story. Like it sounded like
Yeah.
he was either in on it or had something to do with it.
Like that. Man, you make a good point about that. Um, They also issued an arrest warrant for Kyle Rittenhouse, the little white boy who went and shot the protesters because he failed to let them know his change in address. My thing is, he got out on a $2 million bond in the first place. Why is he out? He
And then had the
maliciously
nerve
and
to,
intently
and then
killed
had the
people.
nerve to be at a bar with a shirt that said "I'm out" or "I'm free" or something like that. Like, yeah, they had pictures of him in a bar with a shirt that said "I'm free" or "I'm out" or "finally free" or something like that. Like, yes,
Like, living in America is a complete joke. It is a joke. It is a joke. Black people do not get the privilege to make bond, first
right.
off.
Especially because we have bonds most of the time that are unfairly set. It's
Mm-hmm.
more expensive. Like the bond don't fit the crime sometimes. Like
No, it doesn't.
watching that show Jailbirds, and this girl had $100,000 bond for car theft. I mean, it was like, you know what I'm saying, 10% of that. Who's gonna pay that?
Who's going to pay that? She's going to sit in jail. Just like
Right.
Khalif Browder. He was in jail for allegedly stealing a backpack, which he didn't do. He
Mm-hmm.
sat in jail for, what, 2 years in
Mm-hmm.
solitary confinement? Finally was able to get out. And he had so much mental turmoil within his head, and he just couldn't deal with it. And he
Yeah.
ended up taking his own life. Like, we literally have so much that we deal with on a daily basis, and the mental capacities that black men and black women face every single day is troubling. I find myself too, like, is today gonna be the day where I snap and I Cucamonga kill a cracker? Like, what am I on today? Because I am feeling a little bit strange and weird, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if I told you, but recently I was headed to work and I wasn't speeding. I was following directions, and I stayed in the slow lane, the grandma lane, because it's early in the morning when I'm leaving to go to work. I'm driving in Florida, first off, and I'm driving while black. It's not like I can peel my skin off and be this whole Caucasian woman as I'm driving. I love being
unless,
black in the first place.
unless you're gonna go into a Lovecraft country real quick, just
It,
take the
exactly.
pill, turn white.
Turn instant. You know what I'm saying? But I can't, unfortunately, we are unable to do that. That is all in
Exactly.
figment of our imagination. So I didn't know that this SUV, it was like a gold silver SUV that was in front of me, and some other cars speeding, flying past by. I know the roads are dangerous driving I-75 going through Sarasota. Like, I have to drive all the way to Cape Coral. That's a 2-hour drive.
Right.
I don't be playing with folks. I've seen too many wrecks. I done seen a truck flip over with melons all in a row, a boat come
I
off.
remember
Like,
that.
yeah, it's crazy driving. So I like to stay safe because I like it to make it to my destination alive and make it home alive.
Exactly.
This, I guess it was an officer. I did not know. He literally slows up, switches lane, get behind me, turning his lights to pull me over. So I'm calling John. I'm like, nope, not today. Not today. Today. And he's
Right.
like, why do you keep slowing up when I slow up? I'm like,
Because you're in front
in
of
front
me.
of me?
If
He
you
was like,
slow down,
most people
I have to slow down unless you want me to hit you
hit you right.
from
And
the
then
back.
he says, well, I'm trying to catch all the people that are speeding by. And I'm looking like, as cars are flying by, you can hear, phew, 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 cars flying by. Sir, you know. And he was like, you know what kind of car I'm in. No, I don't. Like, they're unmarked police vehicle without police tags. And I can't see. I got glasses. I barely can see at night because it's early in the morning anyway. It's like 5 o'clock in the morning. And he was like, you could pass me. You could pass me. No, girl, instant anxiety, shakes, all types of stuff. Cause in that moment, I didn't know whether it was gonna be my last breath. I'm going to jail. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't do
Anything.
anything wrong. I didn't
Right.
do anything wrong, and it still boggles my mind every single day. And every time I'm going to work, I get this anxiety. I get this fear of driving and getting pulled over by the police because you never know. The next time it might be a bullet to my dome. It
Right.
might be me riddled with bullets because I'm sitting here saying I didn't do anything wrong and I legally did not do anything wrong. And I'm
Right.
like, I don't know how to feel anymore about it. And when you tell somebody, especially a white person, about what happened to you, they just look at you like, okay. And I'm
Right.
like, do you not know the mental
Yeah,
things
but
that we
you
deal
like
with?
you did. But you did. Like, no, Becky, he didn't give me a ticket. I could have lost
No,
my life, bitch.
right. He did not give me a ticket because I didn't do anything wrong. There was
Exactly.
nothing
He
he
didn't
could
have
give me a
no
ticket
reason to give
for.
me.
He had no,
Exactly.
he pulled me over because he could not tell what I was. All he saw was my locks in the rear view. And I look ambiguous sometimes. Sometimes I look like a dude. Sometimes I look like a female. Most of the time I look like a dude. I like looking like a dude. I really do. I'm very feminine, but that's just my style and my swag. It is what it is.
And
And
that's
I
why
did
you
have my
mine.
bandana on, but you can't really tell. But it's like he knew I was black because it's a dark figure.
Mm-hmm.
Even with another car shining in, you can see just a dark figure.
Mm-hmm.
Shines in on a white person, of course, they're gonna show up ghostly white. A yeast yeti, a mayonnaise muncher. You know, we have different names for y'all, but
Okay.
it just really, it really frightened me. It really frightened me, and I know you've experienced situations of that nature too. And it's like, how do you deal with that? How do you keep progressing and moving forward in life and not having a grudge? Well, I'm gonna always have a grudge. So,
No, I feel you. I mean, I definitely feel like it's a shame that we are at a place that when we get pulled over, we have to, the first thing we have to do as black people, black women especially, put our hands out the window and be like, don't shoot. Like, wait a minute, my hands are
hands
up,
up.
reaching for nothing. Like, please don't come
Mm-hmm.
drawn with your hand on your gun. That's unnecessary. Ain't nothing in
Mm-hmm.
nothing in my vehicle. I shouldn't even have to go through that. It should just
No.
like, why are you pulling me over? You know what I'm saying? Get to the basics. Are you gonna give me the ticket or nah? Like, what we doing?
Mm-hmm.
I still got somewhere to go.
I still gotta be at work.
And I understand that you had that they have a job to do, but it's the difference when you're doing your job and when you're just trying to just over generalize. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what it sounds like he did to you. Like, because if it was anybody else behind him that was slow, I mean, it makes sense. What kind of question are you asking me? Why are you slowing down when I slow down? If you're in front of me, I have to slow down when you slow down.
Right. I'm gonna hit you
Don't make
like, no.
sense.
Like, I'm allowed to drive in this lane. There's no law that says I'm not supposed to be in this lane driving, doing the speed limit.
But you want me to speed like everybody
Right.
else?
No, because you want to give me a ticket. That's what you want to do, even though you see all these other people flying and speeding by. It's like, it doesn't make sense to me. It does. And
Mhm.
that's why I asked you if you saw that movie American Skin.
Mm-mm.
Now I'm probably gonna wait till you see it because I want
Okay.
us to do a discussion about that movie. That movie
Okay.
pissed me off. It pissed me off royally.
Okay. And you
Pissed
said
me
it's on
off.
Amazon Prime?
It's on Amazon Prime. You can rent it. You know what I'm saying? I just want you to watch it, and then we gonna discuss it and talk
So,
about it.
listeners, make sure you find that movie, watch it, because we're gonna have an upcoming discussion about
Yes,
it.
we are.
We need y'all to be up to date on the movie so it can all make sense to you.
Mm-hmm. Because the next time it's gonna be a spoiler alert. Because I'm gonna give y'all my most valid opinion about this movie, and the pandering that was in it. So I want you to watch it and let me know how you feel about it. Cause honey,
I'm sure I'll have
baby,
the same or similar types of angst
yes, yes,
experienced from it because these movies,
girl. And that's why a lot of people are like, movies are fictional. No, what they be saying in movies be
right?
absolutely
And a
true.
lot of these movies be based on true events.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot wait for what's the movie called? Judah and the
Judas
Black
and the
Messiah.
Messiahs. Mm-hmm.
I can't wait
Mm-hmm.
for that movie on February 12th. I'm so excited for that movie.
Yeah, that's
I'm
gonna be a good one too.
I'm hoping that it doesn't piss me off.
Me
But it looks
too.
good from the previews. It looks
Me
really good.
too. I mean, a lot of good black movies coming out. Malcolm and Marie was Zendaya, and
Mhm.
Denzel Washington's son. I don't know why I can never think of his name. But
right?
him,
With him, because
but
he will
him,
be.
yeah, he do. He's so chocolatey and beautiful. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. But we're gonna, go into our topic. Our topic is about why are black women and black girls being attacked? And this is 2020 and 2021. So, from my research and my theory, it stems from black women are vulnerable. We listen a lot to what white people say, and especially the sister girl.
Mm-hmm.
I can't stand the sister girl. Child, run my nerves. Them sister girls who think having a degree, having this, having that makes them just so. Girl, that shit don't mean nothing. It
Right,
don't
because
mean nothing to a white person.
they'll still treat you the exact
The
same
exact
way as
same way.
somebody on the street who ain't got no credentials, no degrees.
Exactly. So we need to change that narrative. I got a degree, I got this. Yes. Although you may have a degree, black women are the poorest in the country. We have the most student loans, the highest interest. We are the poorest. And yet you listen to the false hopes and promises of white people. Do you not see that you're being used by white people for their agenda? It has nothing to do with our agenda and what we're trying to say and what we need as black people. Like, no, they don't care about that. They use us to get what they want, and then they throw us off by the wayside. So when are we going to wake up and start realizing that we are being used by white people, especially white liberals, white males, white females? Like, we're being used. When are we going to realize this shit?
Right,
When are you going to wake up and see? It's a whole bunch of pandering going on. Like, black women, we are not respected. We are respected by black men. And if you feel like you're not respected by black men, I need for you to reevaluate the black men that you're around, because
right,
low value black men, they do not respect black women. But high value black men and black men who have things and who respect black women, they respect you. Trust
right.
me, I know.
And that's why we constantly try to build other Black women up with our Working Woman Wednesday, with
Yes.
this promoting other Black women and other Black businesses. Like, we have to constantly try to stick together and motivate each other. Like, we've said it over and 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 over again. Like, we cannot, we have to get out of this mindset of this crabs in the barrel mindset. Like,
Yes.
we are the glue. Like, the black woman is the glue that holds it all together. Without us, these men, these families, a lot of things would not be nothing. Just like that show,
No.
Behind Every Man, like, they're highlighting black women in these marriages of these successful men because it's the woman that's holding it all
Mm-hmm.
together. Like, without the support of the woman, they wouldn't be out here making too many moves, because you're not saying
No.
we be the ones at night with the pillow talk giving you the ideas. We be the ones
Yes.
that make sure
Encouraging.
kids get picked up from school and get taken to soccer practice, and all they friends and stuff got cards for Valentine's Day and all of this other stuff. Like, we are the ones that are behind the scenes doing the work, washing the clothes, cooking the meals, making sure the house is clean. Like, we do all of these things. So without us, what you gonna do?
Non-existent. Like,
Who you gonna be?
a
Who you gonna be?
woman, a woman, especially a black woman, is the closest thing to God, because
Okay,
we literally we create life. We
right.
bring life into this world. We birth life. We go through a whole process of giving birth. And there's two different sets of divine femininity and divine masculinity. And
Mhm.
it's like we can possess both, but when you really step into your feminine power, you need that strong foundation
You
of
need the
having both realms. You
right.
have to have both realms. And I think a lot of black women get so caught up on the pandering of talking bad about black men, and black men do the same thing too. But at the same time, we have to take responsibility as black women. I'm not finna sit here and let you slander another black man. Not gonna let you do that unless he is wrong. Now if he wrong, call him out. A
Right.
wrong is wrong, no matter
Right.
how many lefts and rights you make to try and make it right. No, that shit is
Call them
wrong.
out.
Call him out.
And once you call him out, don't be so judgy about how he proceeds to move forward. Unless he's continuing to make the same mistakes, outside of that, let the man be. Like, yeah,
Yes.
once you call him out, it's up to him to make those changes and do what he
Mm-hmm.
has to do in order for him to. The best apologies are change behavior. So it's
Period.
up to him to make those changes in his life in order for whatever reason he may be apologizing for or correcting his action to actually stick. But unless you holding them accountable, don't just be out here still talking about them and slandering
Girl,
them. And
telling you that
that's
sister.
not progressive.
It's not that sister girl mentality. I'm telling you, I see it all on Instagram. The Shade Room does it.
The
That
shade room.
girl, they are infamous for that. What's the other one? Spiritual Word. They do
Mhm.
it a lot too. You have to watch them too. How can you sit here and talk bad about a black man and in the same sentence say, "I want a strong black man"? He ain't gonna want you, sis, if you keep talking bad about him.
How can you have a name like the spiritual word and not be spiritual or have a word?
Girl, when my eyes opened up to seeing the pandering that happens with that mess, I was like, oh no, unfollow with the quickness. Like,
Girl,
this
I'm
is
telling you,
not,
get
this
that
is
negativity off your timeline.
like, I cannot deal with this. I'm not about to look at this all day. I'm not finna sit here and let y'all know. I'm like, whoa, now this is a bit too much.
Mhm.
You cannot be based in religion and spirituality and being positive and doing all these affirmations, and then you're the black man don't do this and they don't do, the black men you deal with don't do that.
Exactly. Right. Exactly.
Even the black women that you might deal with don't do that.
Right. Because obviously you're missing the link in your childhood somewhere where you didn't,
Period.
whether it was daddy issues or your mama forgot to teach you something, you know what I'm saying? Our parents could only give us what they knew. And
Yeah.
in a lot of situations and for a lot of people, that wasn't a lot. So,
No. You had to get it where you live. But
right.
that's what I'm saying. You have to reevaluate yourself. Sometimes you look at everybody else placing blame on everybody else, and the common denominator be yourself.
Girl, I just reposted somebody's status this morning, literally 10 minutes ago before we got on this thing to record this. And she was basically saying how, like, don't be afraid to confront yourself. Like, a lot of times, the negativity that you feeling within you is coming from you.
Hmm.
It, if you always feel like everything and everybody else around you is just giving you off this negative energy, maybe you need to look within yourself and be like, let me check myself, because
Yes,
maybe, just maybe, it's me.
it's me.
And
Maybe
that's
it's
all
me.
it takes.
Maybe
Like, you
I'm the
can't be,
problem.
yeah, you can't be afraid to confront yourself. You can't.
You can't. You can't expect to, you know, want a high value man or a high value woman, whatever you choose to do, and you at the same time have low values yourself.
Right.
It's
Right.
not going to happen. Like, that's
Can't
not
be
how the laws of attraction work. That's not how
exactly.
things work. And you wonder why sometimes men choose, you see people choosing low value women. That's because they low value themselves. They don't think of themselves as high value. Yes, sometimes a man with money might have the means, don't mean he's high value.
Exactly.
Same with a woman. They still could be doing all this other kind of stuff because they have not chosen to be in a reflection of greatness and goodness and coming from a whole place and wanting to share and divulge. If somebody ain't building you up,
Then you need to
let
go
them
on,
go.
break them down, let them go.
Let them go. We got to
Ain't
stop
building you
holding on.
up, break them down and let them go.
Let it go. Let it flow. Tony Braxton sang a whole song about that. Let that
Okay.
shit go. Let it go. Let it go. So I want to give a couple of events that happened in 2020 and up to 2021 that I found on my rabbit hole of journalistic abilities, because clearly it's not in the media. And us being a black media news source, we have to be our own journalists. We have to do a lot of research. We have to do a lot of reading to think of the topics and talk about things. And a lot of stuff has not been on news, and it just boggles my mind. So we're going to be the ones to tell you about it. We're finna let you know what's been going on. So in one of the articles is called Racial Battle Fatigue, and the phrase was coined in 2008 by William Smith. And it's how we are being terrorized in our own home. You know, a lot of black people have PTSD, post traumatic slave disorder. A lot of things have been passed down to us from our ancestors who have been through slavery, been through Jim Crow and everything else. And it just sits on our spirit and our soul. And we don't know why we feel this anger or bitterness or fear, anxiety. It's just, you know, it's been inherently passed down to us. May have not necessarily gone through something traumatic, but we always feel that tie to trauma. And it
Mhm.
stems from a long line of history and lineage that goes back to chattel slavery. So, you know, here we go. So, in June 29th, 2020, a black woman was beaten and called a monkey by a white couple. And that happened in New York. Um, October 21st, 2020, three black women were stomped on in a racist attack. This happened in London. Be mindful, racism is just not stemmed to the United States. Racism is everywhere. All right. June 25th, 2020, an 18-year-old black woman was attacked with lighter fluid. She was in her car. She works as an EMT, but she was studying to become a paramedic. She was sitting at the red light, windows down, not, you know, just trying to
Driving.
clear them, just driving. Four white men drove up to her, called her a nigger, threw lighter fluid on her, and then threw a match at her. She suffered second and third degree burns. And of course, it took them a while to figure out and find who they are. That's why I'm like, the police only do work when it pertains to being a race soldier and locking up black people. But when it comes to white people attacking black people, you can't find nobody. We don't know what you're talking about. You sure it was this? I'm telling you what happened to me, and you're negating of what happened to me, motherfucker. Like,
Exactly,
what the fuck do
right.
you think?
You're discrediting
Girl,
my story because
girl,
you don't want to believe it
you don't
because
want to believe
white
it.
person was my accuser.
Yes, and I believe they pulled up the traffic cams and saw the whole incident go down too. So it wasn't like something she just completely made up. Now she is traumatized for life and having to deal with second and third degree burns on her face and neck and arms and everything else. That happened in Wisconsin. All right. This was um this was in 2020 in Pittsburgh. A black woman with a young daughter. They were at the dog park with their dog. The dog another person's dog and their dog, you know how dogs be doing,
Yeah,
yeah, you know. So she pulls her dog away. She said, I'm so sorry, I apologize, you know, it is what it is. And she thought it was handled. Nope. The man comes back, starts coughing in her face and calling her a nigger, trying to attack her in front of her daughter.
did
No charges were filed against the man, none of that, even though they got video footage of it on the cell phone.
did he have the Rona? Like, why?
You're
First of all, why
coughing
are
in
you
my
trying to put the
face.
germs on me?
Exactly. That alone, you going to jail for life to me.
Yeah, because that should be an offense because that's
Yes.
like when people were trying to go in the grocery stores and coughing all over the produce and the fruit. Like, so you mean to tell me people can get arrested and charged for coughing and spitting on fruit, but they won't get arrested for coughing and
Coughing in my face, girl. No charges were found. All right. This one happened July 1st, 2020. A Quality Inn employee, Crystal Caldwell, she was attacked after complaints about the issues with hot water in this white couple's room. So he calls down to the front desk and is like, there's an issue with my hot water. And she's being nice. She's like, okay, sir, you know, I'll send somebody up there to check it out and everything else. He comes down the thing. I guess it wasn't timely enough. He comes downstairs, calls her a monkey, and then starts kicking her and beating her. Her employees were sitting there watching and no one jumped in to help. So once she gets away from him, his girlfriend comes down and then both of them proceeded to jump and attack her even more while calling her a nigger and monkey. And no one helped her out. There was security surveillance of that because it happened down at the front desk. And you mean to tell me not a single employee? Let me guess, they must have been white because had it been my black ass, oh, it
hmm,
would have been jump for jump.
hmm,
I would
come
have
on with
stayed.
it.
Girl, I would have took that stapler and would have stapled their eyeballs shut. Like, girl, it would have
Bumper
been
staple, I would have been rocking. I mean, granted, it's
so rocket.
harder, it is harder to fight a man, but I would have been punching, kicking, slapping.
Girl, all the stuff. That's what I'm saying. All them tools that you got, I would have picked up everything I could.
The
I would have picked
phone,
up
I
the
would have been
computer.
took that cord and wrapped it around.
Pull it back, choke the hell out of him, girl. And then when she called the police about it, the police were like, "Are you sure that's how it happened?"
Sir, I have the video, sir. I
Still,
did you
no
forget that I'm the
charges.
victim? I have the video. I work here. The video is right. It's in my back office. I could just go press play real quick.
No charges has been filed. The hotel, of course, were like, didn't do anything to help her or anything like that. Black woman. All right. We
Got an
going
instance
on.
that I witnessed firsthand in Tampa, Florida.
Right here. I
In
was
Tampa,
there.
Florida, in December, we were waiting at the Wawa to put some air in the tire because when it gets cold down here, your tire pressure
Tired.
goes.
Yeah.
We wait, and it's a line of people, so obviously, this affected a good bit of people. So we waiting in line to get air in the tire, whatever. This white guy pulls up. Mind you, we're all in the line. He gets mad because I guess he thought his white privilege was going to allow him to just skip the line and go in front of everybody. Sis pulled up and parked her car right there next to the car that was currently pumping and stood outside of the car and was like, "No, sir, you're not going to get in front of me because I've been patiently waiting and I'm next in line." He got mad. He got pissed. He started calling her a monkey. He told her to go back to Africa, all of these things. And I was just like, really? Over some air?
In a tire?
Oh, over some air.
Girl,
You
I
that
would have ripped that
you
whole
call
pump
yourself
out.
like it was kind of concerning at first because he did some circles, like he did circles
Mm-hmm.
around the whole gas station, like he was trying to find
Try and find it.
so he could pull out. And he did some circles around the store, and then he finally like spit at her and then like skirt off like real fast so nobody could like try to get his tag number because we was trying to get his tag number so we can call the police. And I got out and asked her because we were next in line. We were next in line after her. So I got out and I'm like, "Are you okay? Like, did his spit actually get on you? Do you want us to call the police? Like, what's going on?" I said we could go in the store together and tell them they need to look at their cameras and we can
Mm-hmm.
file a report because that is ridiculous.
It
Like,
is ridiculous.
air in a tire, like, sir, it's a whole line. You can't just come and think you finna skip a line.
See, I would have ripped the whole air pump out. Nobody getting no air today.
Right? Like,
You sitting here making a big deal and you spit on me, girl. The level of
he spit out the window, but of course she was like a few
a
feet away.
mm-hmm.
He was a good distance away, so his spit wasn't gonna reach her because she was all the way over at the pump, and he was still like it was a car blocking between her and the pump and where he was. So it wasn't like
But
his
regardless, you
her.
calling me a monkey, you doing
Her
all
monkey
telling me I
and
need to
his
go
head
back to
was next
Africa
to
over
him.
some air, my nigga. Like, are you
Mind
kidding me?
mind you, she had an elderly woman in the car with her. I don't know if it was her aunt, her mom, her grandma, but it was an elderly woman in the car with her. And I just kept thinking, like, the disrespect. Like, I can't imagine for the woman that was in the car with her, how many times she has experienced something like that.
Girl,
And now in her old age to still have to see something like that,
how
it's
traumatizing. She already dealt with that trauma growing up and it's still in her brain to see it vividly
right.
in the year 2020
And
happening again,
right, and
bruh.
for it to happen to her daughter, granddaughter, niece, whoever, whatever relation they were to each other. You know what I'm saying? It was just like the disrespect, and that's why I was just like, "Sis, if you want to call the police, I'm with you." Like, I started to press record on my camera, but by the time he had to skirt off, it was over. You know what I'm saying? So
But it's kind of like if you call the police, what are they going to do? They don't
exactly,
believe us in the first
exactly.
place.
And then at that point, you have to worry about, are they gonna come and think that you were the person that started?
Hostile, you were the aggressor, try to take you to jail. Like, it's
Right.
like, what do we do? What can we possibly do? That's why I'm like, now I'm looking into getting a gun, getting me some tactical gear, actually doing some training myself, because there was a representative in Michigan, black lady.
Mhm.
She would go to work, and this was last year. She would go to work, and racist people will be out there calling her a nigger, all close in her face, and so she got scared. So she didn't call the police. She called somebody, and they were like, "Oh, you getting harassed? All right, cool." It was like 10 black people and a black woman came with all their tactical gear on, they guns, because you have, it's amendment 2, you have the right to bear arms. And they literally walked her to her job, stayed outside while she worked her shift, and walked her to her car. They did that every day. What's up?
Okay. Okay.
That's how we need to start rolling. If
Mhm.
somebody is bothering you to the point where it's scaring you and you're afraid, but you have to use the right terms when you're expressing yourself, because that's a key factor too. Because white people don't say guns, they say I use my weapon to protect myself. All of that is different. We got to start doing the same thing. Since the police don't want to protect us, oh no, we finna protect you. Them white
Right.
folks was looking at them like, and they were just out there peacefully. They were distanced apart. They had their mask on. They just was out there watching and protecting her. She's out here working for the Capitol, for the people. And y'all
Right.
out here terrorizing her every day when she's doing a job that's not only just for black people, but for y'all raggedy asses too.
Right.
And y'all messing with her because she's black. See, that's how it should be every single time. We need more on code black men and black women, especially black women. We we need to be out there. I'm a gat tone pistol holding on your
Okay.
damn street. Like, period. But we need to go about it in the right way. Learn the
Mhm.
correct terms, learn what to say, learn what to do. Because you protecting yourself, you protecting your family, you protecting everybody. Everybody black. You
Right.
protecting them. So we gotta do that. All right. Some more stories. I got a few more. So in New York, I don't know if you remember that video where the white woman threw her bottle at the black woman jogging, telling her to go back to Africa.
No.
Girl, she's out there just exercising and jogging. White lady pushed her, then threw a bottle at her, told her to go back to Africa. That happened last summer. And in June, there was a black pastor. He was arrested after being attacked by a white mob. How do you get arrested for you being attacked by a white mob? They had
That's
to release him. Was like, oh, we made a mistake. So this was
crazy.
see, this was last year in, I think, either May or June. An 11-year-old black girl from Kansas was attacked by a 12-year-old white boy. He called her a nigger. He beat the crap out of her. She suffered a concussion. She missing a tooth and her cheek was split open. That's how bad he beat her while calling her a nigger in Kansas. The level of somebody having to stop me from ripping that little boy's head off of his body for attacking my daughter, go ahead, lock me up.
Okay.
Go on,
I'm
prepare
surprised his
myself.
parents ain't on trial right now for murder, cause
And
honey,
I'm all for an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. You knock my child's tooth out, your tooth finna be missing too.
and not one, all 32 of them, if
Gonna
I
be
can
gone. You gonna
incarcerate
be
it.
sipping your food and eating your food through a straw for the rest of your life.
Exactly. You're gonna have a one of them stomach bags, cause
Yes, messing with me. All right. Another one, a white male, the black girl was hanging out with her friends and they were trying to cross the street. He proceeds and takes his truck and rams through rams through him, hits her, hit and run, hit and run. And it took them a while to find him. So, what was your reasoning for running through a crowd of black women? What was that reason?
right.
And
Why would you do that?
Why would you do that? And then here in 2021, of course, remember the black lady, she's walking home from work in California when she was attacked by a group of MAGA protesters. Like when the Capitol things happened that same day, they were doing these same riots in all the capitals around America. She just left work. She just trying to get home. They on both sides of the street. Where the hell else can I go? So she was like, I kept my head down, trying to hurry up and walk through, and they started to attack her and beat her. She was getting off from work.
See, and I feel like these kinds of things, all that kind of stuff that's incited by Trump, he should be held accountable for every single one of them crimes.
Mm-hmm.
They all should be related to him because if it wasn't for yo make America great again bullshit, people wouldn't have felt like they were entitled to do those kinds of things.
They
Like
wouldn't. They
that's
wouldn't.
crazy. That's
And then,
crazy.
did you hear recently about the white football player who almost beat his black girlfriend to death? He
No.
choked her, girl. Oh yeah, this is last week. He choked her. She passed out. She made her way back up again. He chokes her out again, almost to death. Like he beat the crap out of her. She gets back up again and runs into the bathroom and runs past him. He said, I could have sworn this time I thought you were dead. He plays for Seattle Seahawks.
Mm.
And now they're trying to say, you know, it's just a mental thing of what he's going through.
Of course they try to claim insanity. Of course that's the first thing white people go to is insanity. That's the first thing they go to because they know that they could get a lesser charge if they
Mm-hmm.
can prove, and especially if he's a football player and ever had any kind of concussion or ever had any kind of medication for like depression or anxiety, they can definitely use that. They can use that and he can get off on a lesser charge because they can prove insanity. That's
Mm-hmm.
what they do.
It is crazy. That's why I'm like, what was his need for beating her? I didn't really read the full story. I should have, because it upset me so bad, because I'm like, dang. And it apparently is some other, he's also stated some other racist things to her. That's why I'm like, it's a little touchy, but sometimes being with white men, black women, is a fetish to them. They
Right.
are
Exactly.
fetishizing you. Just like with white women. There was a TikTok of this white girl was like, the reason why we like black men is because they fine. They got big things. They know how to have sex. So that's your only reason of why you choose to be with black men?
Right. Right.
You fetishize black men and black women. You don't even know your reason why. All of your things have to do with appearance and what he can do for you sexually.
Right. Exactly. Right.
I'm like, that shit doesn't make sense to me. Like, no, having sex with white people and having babies with white men and women doesn't just dissolve racism whatsoever. Like, you cannot fuck your way to racism being out and obsolete. It does not happen that way. Even the
Right.
guys who were doing some of the stuff at the Capitol, two of them had black wives. She knew he was like this. She got a picture of him with his KKK hoodie on, his Proud Boys, and she up here posing with him with that. Make that make sense to me.
That's crazy.
You just
Ain't no
can't. You like,
way. Ain't no way that any person that I lay down with at night is gonna be a whole different person when they go outside. Like,
not finna happen. Like you cannot sit here and tell me, "Oh, I didn't know he was like that." I didn't know it. Bitch, you knew. Your
ain't no
hatred
way.
for black people
Yeah.
and yourself is so deeply rooted that you would let a white man disrespect you, yourself, your whole lineage of black people. You would sit there and let him do that to you.
Hmm.
Why? Make it make
Hey,
sense.
ain't no way. Didn't do it.
Can't
You would
do
need
it.
to get the out of my house because what you're not gonna do is have me up in here with no kind of KKK paraphernalia up in
Mm-hmm.
my home where I come to sleep at, cook, eat at, shit at. No,
No, not gonna happen.
not happening.
Out of all my research for just this was just last year up until now, this is the kicker. This is the one story that is the opposite. So a black woman was charged with a hate crime for attacking a white woman on the bus. So the black lady said that the white woman kicked her and called her out her name. Plus, we don't know what was going on in the black woman's head. To me, justifiable. I'm whooping that ass. So she gets off at the next stop, the black woman does, after beating the hell out of the white lady. And the police find her, and she's like, she's having a mental episode. So she starts banging her head against the glass, and she's like, they're always after us. They're always attacking us. We can never win. We can never win. And that really hurt my soul because now charging her with a hate crime. We cannot be racist to white people. Because I'm trying to be racist towards a white person. I'm trying. Every day I'm trying. Shoot, I can't stand that little phrase, when they go high. When they go low, we go high. No, when they go low, I'm going to hell. When they go low, I'm going super low. Like, I'm gunning for you. So that doesn't make sense. And that was in Georgia. How was she being charged with a hate crime when the two guys who killed Ahmaud Arbery for jogging in his own neighborhood, that was a literally hate crime, and they're not being charged with a hate crime because a hate crime has more punishment, more time versus, I think, murder or whatever they want to charge those white men with. How is hers a hate crime? How?
That's crazy.
We don't know the ties that she had to this white lady. Maybe every day she got on this bus, this white lady was saying something to her.
Like,
I don't know.
it just like you said, you never know what mental state she was in. Obviously, if she banging her head on the glass, like she has some kind of
But they don't see us as having mental issues and mental problems. Like, but they can have all the mental issues, all the mental
right,
problems, all of that. But we
right,
not supposed to have any of those things. Like, we not supposed to feel no type of way or have anxiety, have depression, have schizophrenia, be bipolar, be any of this. We not supposed to have any of that.
right. That's crazy.
Super crazy.
It's sad, but it's true. Like these are the things that we have to keep shedding light on because they are happening, and
Mm-hmm.
it's not going to go away. Like
No,
the
it's
more
not.
that the more that we expose stuff like this, and the more that we bring attention and awareness to it, of course,
Mm-hmm.
keep your eye out yourself. As you move through your everyday life, but of course, just keep it in mind that at the end of the day, as a Black woman, it's hard out here.
It
It's
is hard as a black woman, as a black man, just being black in general is hard.
It is.
Every day it's a mental warfare. Like literally. It's just the moment can make or break you. Is some days you wake up, you might be running a little bit behind, and you get to work and it's always some nosy motherfucker. And this is the fourth time that you've been late. Mind your business. Mind your business. You don't know what I'm dealing with
My
or what
lateness
going
concern
on.
you. Unless you my assistant or something like that, my lateness or my boss, my lateness should not concern you in no kind of way.
No, it should not. It
Why
should
why
not.
are you in my face, ma'am? What you
Mind your business. But then when you say something to her, or you put your foot down, you're angry, you're hostile, you can't be. She's hard to work with. She always has an attitude. She doesn't come in there smiling. She doesn't do any of this. I came here to work. This is a job, not to
right,
make friends. I have
right,
friends outside of work. None of y'all my friends.
right.
Why do I have to put on this facade and this mask of who I really am? And I have resting bitch face. I'm glad we're wearing the mask. I might wear a mask to work for the rest of my life because you cannot see my facial expressions. I don't smile. It's just something I just don't do. It stemmed from me when I was younger and I had a gap, a big old gap, and people used to pick at me. And then from that day, I smile, but I really don't smile. But then, I started coming back for him because my mama said, you cannot let somebody talk about you and you already have this. We're going to get it fixed. Talk about it before they can, and can't nobody ever bother you. And she's like, if not, then you say something else about something else. So that's where my little jugular insults come from. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
get you before you get me. It's not finna happen. But it's like, I don't smile. It doesn't mean I'm mad or upset or angry. I'm perfectly fine. I'm
Right.
copacetic. I just
My
don't.
I reserve my smile for things outside of this building.
Yes, because coming here is it's miserable. It is miserable.
The
Like
things
I'm not.
that actually bring me joy and peace and comfort.
Yes. But when
That's
I
what
come here, y'all don't make things peaceful or comforting to me because I always have to double check and double do my work. Always explain myself, always know the ins and the outs, all the rules, all the bylaws, all of this, because I'm constantly being questioned about my job. I
and
can't never have a day where I'm not questioned to why am I doing the job that I'm doing? How did you get into this position? Asking me questions about stuff that don't even make no sense.
and
But I
that's why
have to know. We have to know these things as a black
mhm.
person.
And that's why it's important for us to continue to stick together and get out of the crabs in the barrel mentality, because you never know. It could be a black doctor, black investors that come through with some money that
Mm-hmm.
can put you in a position to where you don't have to do those things. Like
No.
it was two women in somewhere called Freedom, Georgia. Have you heard of this story? They bought
No, I haven't.
they bought like 300, 500 acres of land, some stupid amount of land, and
Mm-hmm.
basically are like rebuilding the city to be all black. And they were like, other races are welcome. Just know that this is us. Like this is
Right.
and we started this, we founded it. They trying to do black grocery store, like all black. And I commend
See,
for that.
yeah, I'm there for that. I'm there for it. It's like we cannot progress as a race if we continuously tearing each other down.
Hmm.
Like that's why I'm like, sometimes these old dinosaurs, especially the old black ones that be in jobs, be like, oh, don't do that there. Don't say that there. They gonna get you. I don't give a fuck about him or her or you. Shut the fuck
Right.
up. Let me do this. The
We
old
don't.
people need to sit down. Let us handle it. Because y'all don't lived your life. Y'all had the chance to do it. Now
Mm.
it's on us, the millennials and Generation Z. And
And
I'm saying what's finna go down. This is how it's finna go down. I'm not
mhm.
listening to these old white washed white ways of shit no more. Kiss my ass.
Right. And it's like, our elders, they can give us guidance on certain things, but it's just like we live in a different time now.
Yes.
And I feel like now, like you said, the millennials and our generation of people, we're more apt to speak up and not
Yeah.
just, what I'm saying, do things because that's the way that it's supposed to be done. We
No.
aren't supposed to cause the fuss. We aren't supposed to like push back. We aren't supposed to reject what is the status quo because that's how normally
That
things work, or
yes.
because your job could be jeopardized. Like, no, like our generation of people are standing up to stuff like that and saying, no, we're not taking that.
We're not taking it.
That's just how it has to be.
Just like with the whole John told me a couple of days ago, like 3 days ago, Jeff Bezos is stepping down as like CEO of Amazon or whatnot. And I'm thinking, and I said to him, I said, that's strange. Something has happened to where he's stepping down, because you just don't step down from you own Amazon, you're the CEO and you gonna step down. Apparently in Alabama, a black woman, um, most of Amazon workers are black. And
Mm-hmm.
they're black. We are the frontline workers. So they do deliveries and they get tips with deliveries. He has withheld $16.9 million of their tips, of their hard earned tips. He stole all that from them. And she's like, hold up, wait a minute now. I've been working, all the people I work with been working, and we haven't been getting paid the money we were owed and due to us. What the fuck
Mm-hmm.
is going on? So she done filed a lawsuit, and all of a sudden he's stepping down. But they don't file the lawsuit, and the judgment was in favor of them. I'm like, Jeff Bezos, I told you niggas, I told you niggas. Like, he may put on this facade of how he cares about black people and everything else. No, he does not. He does not. He cares about the dollar, the almighty white dollar too. So he will do anything and everything in his power to manipulate things. Like, he owns the Washington Post. He
Mm-hmm.
owns it. So he can say, put what he want to say and what he don't want to say. So it's crazy that, all of this is happening and no one knows about this. There was even a video about it, and the video is deleted now. Why is the video deleted?
Mm-hmm.
Why are y'all suppressing this? What is really going on? Amazon,
Because
Jeff
he got
Bezos.
power to make it go away. That's why he has the
That
means
is
and power to
crazy.
make it go away. It's just
That
that
is crazy.
it,
That is crazy. We out here risking our lives because more black people are dying from COVID than any other race.
mm-hmm.
More black people are dying from it, but we the ones out here on the front lines because we have to be. We have to be. It's our livelihood. We the
Mm-hmm.
only ones who do these service jobs, and yet they don't want to pay us for these things. But that's a whole nother topic, whole nother day. We can go down the rabbit hole. We're gonna
Oh,
segue into, Shonda Site second, cause it's getting me hot.
they don't want to let us get our tips. Like, that's wrong, because you never know. People might have been tipping her because she was doing a great job.
Yeah,
And
and it wasn't just her. It's all Amazon Flex drivers. So it wasn't just
yeah,
in Alabama. It's all over the United States. If you were an Amazon Flex driver, and most of the drivers were black, and you
mm,
withholding their money in a
like,
panoramic.
you ain't giving them, you ain't giving them no bonuses or no extra money. Like, it's for one, for working in a pandemic, like, people should be getting hazard pay and all kind of stuff, but you gonna take, not only give them no hazard pay and no extra money for working in a pandemic and putting their life at risk and in danger, but you also gonna take the extra money that they can make on the side from people just being nice and showing their humility and giving them tips. Like, that's messed up. That makes me
Super
not
messed up.
order nothing else from
I'm
Amazon.
not. That's why I was like, I'm done.
Prime, like, all
I'm
of that.
done.
That's
I'm
crazy.
done. I'm done. I'm like, dang, man. It just, girl. That's why I
So
said it makes me hot.
black developers out there, we need y'all to come up with an alternative.
Please, please, because they're already suppressing our voice. They're
Okay.
suppressing what we can do, what we can buy. Like, you can't even say certain phrases. You can't even post any. If you post anything on Instagram or Facebook about COVID and you're black, your page gets automatically disabled for 7 days. Trust me. I just got banned for 7 days. I couldn't do no lives on Instagram anymore for a while, for 10 days.
Wow, that's crazy.
And all I was doing on my live was DJing. But then I remembered I did post something about black deaths and COVID. And then, of course, me and my Jim Crow Joe Biden post, I post that. And then I got a warning. And then it says you're banned for 7 days. You cannot post anything on live. You can still post things on your story, but you cannot go live with anything anymore. So that lets me know they are suppressing the black voice. I'm not the
That,
only person that has dealt with that either.
that's crazy.
Very much so. So that's what I'm saying. Y'all up here, they blocked Trump off of Twitter, but you got to look at the other end of it too. Of now they're starting to suppress a lot of, because the only thing we have is word of mouth and our voice.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we tell y'all, like, share, subscribe,
Rate, review, share with your
rate,
friends.
review, share with your friends. You like what we're talking about? Spread it, get it out there.
Yeah.
Cause we
If
can only go as far as we can go. We out here giving you the news and what's going on in black world because it's being suppressed. They don't talk about us. They forget about us.
mm-hmm.
So tell your friends, share it with somebody, with like-minded individuals. Cause
Mm-hmm.
jigaboos, coons, butter biscuit eating, all of them who do all that, they don't like what we talking about. Which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. I'm still call your coon ass out. But if you feel the need, you want to share, share. I don't care.
Right. And just, as y'all already know, the psych second is related to the topic, so it's gonna be simple. You know what I'm saying? We are trying to make sure that our sisters are protected to no end. So, you know what I'm saying? Make sure, if you have sisters, girlfriends, cousins, aunties, grandmas, anybody that's related to you that you feel that it has been telling you, like, they're experiencing any type of harassment, have them call you when they get home, have them call you when they get to where they're going. Make sure that they have a pull-up crew.
Yes.
The pull-up
Yes.
crew is real, because if we need to have our own like teams and militias behind us like that will come in they gear and make sure that nothing is happening to us, that's what we need to do.
We do. We do. We
That's what
really
we need
do.
to do. We need to
Invest.
make sure we stay protected by all means. Make sure,
Amen.
like I said, have as your own self, as a Black woman, make sure you have an accountability partner, a friend, a boyfriend, sister, cousin, mama, auntie, somebody that you can call, that you can be like, all right, I made it home. Okay, I made it to work. Okay, I made it to this place. Okay, I made it to school. Okay, I got here safely. You ain't got nothing to worry about, because that's important. And I think a lot of times we do forget to have those safety checkpoints with people, because we feel like nothing's gonna happen. When you put
Mm-hmm.
your guard down and when you feel like nothing is gonna happen, that's when you prime suspect or prime to something happening. And I'm not saying
Mm-hmm.
you should move around always thinking or expecting that something is gonna happen, because that is gonna give you anxiety. But
Mm-hmm.
still, just be on alert.
Yes, I'm telling you, Black
That's
women
what
are
I'm
under
looking
attack.
at.
We're so vulnerable to things because, like I said earlier, we listen and we get false praises and hopes from white people, and we think, oh, I don't know. You cannot say anything to me that make me feel like no, what you saying is right. Try
Mhm.
again. Don't work with me. It don't work with Shonda. It
Right,
don't work.
right.
I don't want your false praises. I don't. Nope.
Okay. Because we got our defenses up. We are ready to argue at any given time, moment
Period. I have my
already.
statistics already locked down in
Okay.
here,
Okay.
ready to go. Ready to go. Well, we appreciate you guys. We thank you for listening. As we said
Yes, mom,
before, like, share, subscribe, rate us. Please rate
yes.
us. If
Give
you
us
like what you hear,
give us some stars on Apple Podcasts, or wherever it is that you're listening.
Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon, say that. Say, Alexa, play Sugar Baker Radio podcast, and it comes automatically. It comes up.
Mhm.
It's wonderful. It's
Right.
wonderful.
It's a great thing. It's a beautiful thing.
It's a
It's a
beautiful
beautiful
thing.
thing.
It's a beautiful thing. Well, we love you guys. We appreciate y'all. It's been another episode. Peace.
Peace.